Hi, folks. I'm Jamie Hiles.
Judy.
Amy.
You're not John Cena.
No, my name's Derrick.
I know. This is Cream Bloody Movies, the podcast where we review horror movie each week, go over the horror news. And guys, I hope you've got your fictional alter egos standing by. Because tonight we are jumping into George Romero's adaptation of Stephen King's The Dark Half. 1993's The Dark Half. And this is episode 2 of StephenKingtember. So guys, how you doing tonight?
Doing good.
You know, I wish you would have told us what the intro was going to be, because I definitely would have introduced myself as Raul.
It's a damn shame I didn't do that.
Because he's my alter ego.
He is your alter ego, that's true.
I don't have an everywhere.
I don't have an alter ego. Well, that's not true. I guess I once ordered food as Thornton. Just because I thought the name sounded funny. And when the Taco John's lady asked for Thornton, I laughed endlessly. I was like, ha ha ha! She thought my name was Thornton.
He was probably like, guys, that's weird name.
Oh, here comes Thornton. Thornton, here's a who.
For no reason.
Alright, guys, we got a lot to talk about. We're digging into The Dark Half, but first, I have a swath, we'll say swath, of horror news. Let's start with this one. The big news here. Guys, it looks like A24 is landing the rights to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, snap.
We talked previously how they were up for grabs, and there was a bidding war. Several people were involved in it. Glenn Powell was one of them. What have you. But now, it looks like A24 is in pole position. Deadline is reporting. What are your thoughts on this?
Hopefully it's good.
Okay. It'll only be good news when we see the trailer and he's not popping out of a fucking daisy field.
We will have to review that one still. I mean, I think we're on Leatherface, aren't we? We're on Texas 3. That's where we are in that franchise, Leatherface.
Yeah.
Early 90s classic. Same year as this movie, actually, 1993, I do believe. That's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see what they'll do. I mean, you can only prestige the fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre so much. It needs to be gritty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys, more big news. Lin Shaye is returning and will star alongside Amelia Eve in next summer's Insidious 6.
Nice.
Jacob Chase will direct, and he wrote the screenplay with David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. That's a name right there.
Yeah, it
just kept going. It just kept going. You guys excited to see a new Insidious?
Always. I actually haven't seen the last one that came out, and that kind of bums me out that I haven't seen it yet.
It's really solid. Patrick Wilson directed it, the last one. So yeah, next summer we're getting a new Insidious. That should be fun. Speaking of sequels, guys, this is kind of wild. Clint Howard was speaking to Bloody FM's Dead Meat at Halloween Horror Nights, and he said that there is talks. They are in pre-production for the Ice Cream Man sequel.
I think you cut out there for a second. Did you say Ice Cream Man sequel?
I did. He said that they are in pre-production on a sequel to the Ice Cream Man. Here's how he describes it. It has no similarity to the first one, except that I'm getting hired to play an Ice Cream Man. I'm going to make the movie at a modest level, So on this particular trip, Kat and I are really keeping our eyes open to see how Terrifier 3 crew is doing everything. They may not realize it, but they're sharing information with us.
I got
It's also worth noting.
no faith in that movie whatsoever.
It's also worth noting there's another Ice Cream Man movie on the way that's unconnected to this one. Eli Roth is writing one, remember? So Eli Roth is writing and directing an Ice Cream Man movie, and then we're having like a sequel to the Ice Cream Man. What are your thoughts on this?
I think
It's gonna be absolutely dog shit. Is what it's gonna be.
no. I think they're gonna surprise you with it. Honestly, if they're taking some notes from what's popular right now.
Clint Howard, right? Clint Howard.
Yeah.
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 No, it's
I mean, the Ice Cream Man. We haven't done it on the show yet. We'll have to, but it's pretty terrible. We will get to it eventually. It was a kind of shorthand for us for bad movies for a while, wasn't it, Derrick?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait till we get to that. Oh my gosh.
Well, Derrick will pick it eventually.
Well,
After StephenKingtember, all bets are off. Who knows? After StephenKingtember, then Halloween, then it's just who knows. Guys, check this out. We're getting some more news on Scary Movie 6. It is a thing that's happening. Written by the Wayans brothers. And Marlon Wayans has announced that he is returning as Smokey. So, I'm sorry, as Shorty. He'll be back as Shorty. Yeah, Marlon Wayans. What do you guys think about this news? Michael Titus is directing. With Rick Alvarez writing and produced alongside the Wayans brothers. You guys interested in seeing a new scary movie starring the Wayans brothers?
I saw that. I saw a poster. More so than the Ice Cream Man sequel.
My hot take is that the first three, there's not a bad scary movie of the first three scary movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think both of the Wayans brothers scary movies were great. And then I think Scary Movie 3 was great for different reasons. The Wayans brothers was the more vulgar, kind of wild humor. And then Scary Movie 3 was like fucking Airplane. It was directed by, the Zucker brothers. It kind of just fit right in. There's some really funny stuff in Scary Movie 3 as well. It was my favorite of the... Because I'm a Zaz man. I grew up a Zaz man, Grew up on The Naked Gun and, Airplane and all of those. Top Secret. So I'm excited for this. We haven't had a spoof movie. Since Naked Gun kind of came back and, did well at the box office, it's like, yeah, let's bring spoof movies back. But don't learn the wrong lesson. Don't shit them out. Seltzer and Freebird style. We do not want that. They're the worst. They're the bane of existence of comedy in film. All right, and then finally, this last bit of horror news. We talked about it earlier. We didn't hear any news. Derrick's been talking about it endlessly for fucking decades. But we have some... HBO Max is moving forward on the Conjuring television series. We have a showrunner, Nancy Wan, will serve as a showrunner, writer, and executive producer. Peter Cameron and Cameron Squires are on board as series writers. But we really don't know much. Just continue the story established in the feature films. What are you guys' thoughts? Are we going to get... I don't think we're going to get Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga back. So at that point, is it even worth doing?
I think it's still worth doing. I think if you can pull off some spooky, ghosty scares, I'm in.
If that spinoff is... And obviously... this would completely, I think, separate. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know anything about it. If they do a spin-off with the daughter, where they make like appearances here and there, like I'm all for that. If it's completely off, like base, then I feel like they've made a mistake.
Yep. So we'll see. I'm kind of interested. I know The Conjuring, the last one, Last Rites, has made like well over $200 million already. It's been out for 2 weeks. So it's probably going to cross $300 million very soon here. So as it sits now, it is sitting at $279 million. It's almost at $300 million already.
There you go.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's what I call a hit, right?
Yep.
And that, guys, wraps up the horror news. Ended it strong. So, guys, picture it. It's 1993. The year of the dog. I don't know if it's really the year of the dog. I just made that up.
The year of the Lydia.
There's some stuff that came out in 93. But, for our purpose, Stephen King and George Romero team up once more. George Romero wrote and directed his adaptation of The Dark Half. Have either of you seen this movie before?
No.
Have either of you heard of The Dark Half before?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it.
You've heard of it?
Yes.
Derrick, you've never heard of it or seen the box or anything?
Not that I can recall now.
Yeah,
I've
this is
heard
one.
of the book mostly, probably more than the movie. Like,
yeah,
I knew it was a book for sure.
Yes,
I wasn't sure. Like when you picked it, I was like, I couldn't remember. Like, was that a series? Was that a
you think of the Dark Tower with the series?
The Dark Tower, that could be. Yeah. So those are kind of foggy in my, in my thoughts.
Yeah. So I've seen this movie several times. I don't remember the first time I watched it. It was in the late 90s, early 2000s, probably. I remember renting it on VHS in the late 90s. And then it was on, like, I want to say AMC or something like that. And then, I think actually I saw AMC first, and then I was like, I've got to watch that movie. So I rented it, and then I've seen it 4 or 5 times since, like, just throughout the years. I'll be looking for a movie to watch, and The Dark Half will be streaming on something. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll watch The Dark Half every time. Just, oh, sure, I haven't seen that in a long time. So, guys, where do you want to start with this one?
I feel like this one is, starting in the beginning wouldn't be bad, because we start out with him as a child.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we wanted to chronologically go through the film, I'm asking, what do you guys want to talk about first?
Well, so he's a child and he has seizures, I believe is what they would be classified as, and so his mom takes him to the doctor, and they have a surgery and reveal a gross ass eyeball in his brain, where he had a twin that didn't get fully absorbed.
Yes.
Which I think is, I started having flashbacks of Malignant, because I haven't seen this movie, but I saw Malignant, and so I was like, oh.
Yeah,
maybe this
I thought
inspired.
the same thing. I thought the same thing. I was really shocked at the plot of this movie. I was like, this was already a thing.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it was. So our basic plot is that we follow a writer, Thad, and he is a Thad Boma, and he is a teacher and what have you. But he writes these like suspense novels, these kind of trash novels, under the name of Richard Stark, and he gets outed and blackmailed, about Richard Stark being himself. So he figures the best way to do damage control is just to put it out there. He is Richard Stark. So they bury Richard Stark. They end his life. They have a whole tombstone and everything. And then, that doesn't go too well, right, guys?
Was his name Richard? I thought it was like George or something like that.
Is it George Stark? George Stark. You're right. George Stark, not Richard Stark. Yeah.
Yeah, the movie's really interesting because, we all have, like, masks that we wear, and sometimes your internal monologue is different than, what you actually show to the world. And his wife makes a comment whenever they're discussing, like, well, I'm being blackmailed, what should I do? And his wife's like, I don't like when you write that stuff. It changes you, right? Like, he's tapping into
the dark half.
part of himself, and it changes who he is for that period of time. Because he drinks and he smokes, and so it's really interesting how they portrayed that in this. Like it's an entity within himself.
Yes, that gets a life of its own, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, let's talk about our cast here real fast, because we have, Timothy Hutton playing Thad and George Stark, of course, with some makeup, to kind of differentiate him. He has that fucking 50s pompadour going on and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then we have Michael Rooker as our second Alan Pangborn in a row.
Right.
Yeah, we picked a second Pangborn movie. What do you guys think of both of those guys?
I was, once again, shocked that it was Alan in this. But yeah, Michael Rooker is such a freaking good actor. And he is so, subtle in this. And I just love that choice for him.
Yeah. Instead of being bombastic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's so cool. And
he is cool.
Timothy Hutton is pretty good in this too. I haven't seen a lot of things with him in it, but I immediately recognized him from TV shows and stuff, and I was like, holy cow, he's so young in this. It's crazy.
Yeah, Timothy Hutton is great. I don't think he's capable of giving a bad performance, really.
Yeah.
He's pretty great. What do you think, Derrick?
Oh, I agree. I think he did a really great job as both characters, right? And I'm sure as an actor, that's a interesting role to take, where within one movie you are two different people. I think he pulled it off pretty well.
Yeah, I think so too. The wife is his wife, Liz Beaumont's played by Amy Madigan. She's really good in the movie as well. I think the performances overall are solid in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I was so stunned when I had to see who she was. I was asking Jake to look her up. I was like, what have I seen her in? She looks so familiar to me. And he immediately looked it up and said, something you watched recently, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, she's Aunt Gladys from Weapons.
Oh, yeah.
It immediately clicked in my head. But she looks so completely different in that, obviously. But the fact that she's still doing, horror like that is so cool.
Yeah, so, what do you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about Stark's first appearance and his just appearance in general. What do you guys think of him as an antagonist?
I don't even know what to say. It's so... it's so strange because he looks a lot like the protagonist.
Yes.
Well, and I think for most of this movie, you are, at least I was, wondering, oh, he must have a split personality disorder.
Yeah.
Not thinking that it is physically two different people. And I'm sure they mislead you on purpose, because he goes on a business trip, but then did he actually take that business trip? Are these moments that he's having where he is just so kind of there's a really great scene where he goes to the library specifically to be alone so he can communicate, and he goes into this trance. And even at this point, you're seeing the physical person, but could that just be
his mind's eye?
Yeah, his mind's eye, or Dreamcatcher comes to mind, where it's you've got the physical body and then you've got him in that catatonic state, and he's writing it down. But no, they're physically two different people. So they do a really good job of kind of hiding that until.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because your mind is telling you well, it must be this thing that's happening, and then you're like, oh wait, this is Stephen King we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, seeing this movie out of order from everything else, right? Because first time watching it, you immediately start thinking of all the other movies that you've seen that this probably had an inspiration on.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to make it work within that framework of what you already know. And then it's just a little bit different. So that was also kind of nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I like him as a antagonist because he's mean and nasty. I also like how he starts to deteriorate as the movie goes on because he's not writing any more books about him, so he starts to get like real nasty. His face starts to split and stuff. He has to start wrapping it up, and I think he looks.
I think really creepy.
Yeah, I think he looks genuinely creepy when he has his wrapped face and everything. You see his eyes are all creepy and shit.
Yeah.
I really like that stuff. And then, you know what, so while
I like his mannerisms too, like where he's actually like being kind of a cool guy. Like you're like,
yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah.
He kind of is like a little too cool, but also terrifying in that way. Like dangerously cool.
Absolutely. You know, when the murders start happening, they, of course, Pangborn and the cops believe that it's Thad, obviously, because the fingerprints match, you know, DNA match. It's like, it's him. But, you know, he's like, it's not me. It's not me. And then when he finds out, oh, George Stark is real. What do you guys think of the first, like, kill of this movie?
When the guy gets pulled through the window?
Yeah.
Pretty good. I think it's most of it's off camera.
Right.
You get to see the aftermath. But, you know, where he stops because he, you know, the guy looks so familiar. I think he even makes he doesn't say who it is, but he's like, is that, you know, like he's questioning, did I just see who I thought I saw?
Mm-hmm.
And then gets
was this the photographer?
Like it's left behind.
What, Lydia?
Was this the photographer that was the first one?
I think it was the photographer.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to remember.
The one in the like apartment complex, hotel room kind of, that apartment like hallway is a really great bit. I think. I think that's pretty. I think that's pretty scary. What do you guys think of that one?
With the lights, with the like, red and blue or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
It looks really cool. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always a big fan of that like Romero, you know, kind of creep show factor a little bit with those primary colors.
I was loving like when he was lighting the match and it was like illuminating. I was like, you know, somebody spent some time on that lighting right there.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, yeah. And so, you know, things escalate obviously because we get some murders and we have Thad trying to figure out what's going on, and he starts to piece it together that basically George Stark is pretty much his unabsorbed twin that has manifested itself in the real world. His dark half, his dark desire. Yeah, what do you guys want to talk about?
Gosh.
Birds play a really big role in this movie.
Birds, yeah.
And
the sparrows.
The sparrows.
Yep.
It kind of reminded me of some dialogue from something like The Crow. In this, the sparrows are kind of like a link between. I think they even use some of the same language, like the land of the living and the land of the dead, or something like that.
Yes.
So there's like a bird attack or a crazy thing whenever he has that surgery.
Yeah.
And then related to the end, I don't know if we want to go there, but like that whole scene at the end is like.
Yeah, we'll talk about the third act here in a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Because like. Basically, it becomes a hostage movie. Like halfway through, like towards the third act, it becomes a because Stark finally, after framing him and trying to frame him and killing all these people, and then Pangborn finally has to come to the realization that he couldn't have done it because he was there with him. And then he gets the call from Stark threatening his family. And at first, he's still kind of like, it could be him. And then he's like, well, he's saying some really fucked up shit. Maybe it's not him. Maybe not. And so, when he comes in all fucking deteriorating and kind of, says, hey, holds his family hostage and you need to write another Stark novel. Because basically, without him, since he killed him, he has no more power. That's why he's starting to like decay
Yeah.
So he needs him to be brought back. When he writes, it starts to heal Stark, and Thad starts to get sick. He starts to kind of take over. Stark does. What do you guys think of this bit?
Yeah, because when they sit down, Thad starts writing almost immediately, and then you can physically see where he starts to deteriorate even further, and he even tells him at the beginning of that, like this hard, rough man tells him that he's scared, which is really um, some great dialogue. But then he starts to write, and then it kind of swaps.
Yeah,
like the transitions start to move the opposite direction.
I love the fact that he's like, I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think you're gonna get away with it, or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. I was like, that's such a good point.
I don't think it's gonna work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the third act is kind of interesting. Because we get like the denouement, and then like the way that he's defeated is with the sparrows that we talked about, basically dragging him to the other side, because he's basically never lived, so takes him to the land of the dead, essentially. What do you guys think of the setup going into it, and then the actual conclusion? What were you guys thinking, since you've never seen this before?
I thought it was really cool. It made me think a lot about, like, what do I want to say? Like, where did that come from? Like, I can't remember where they said it came from, of like the sparrows, like being a specific thing that, like, I don't know, like mythology kind of situation.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up. It was,
it's like escaping me right now, but it made me think a lot about that, and I really liked that. But I also was kind of distracted by the special effects that were happening.
Special effects were kind of...
They were good, but they were so different than what you see. Like, the colors that they used and everything like that was, like, very... I think they were trying to be very... I don't know what they were trying to go for. Like, there were so many, like, purples and...
They were trying to go for
colors,
Yeah, that kind of... Yeah, that primary color look. Like, Creepshow
like,
style.
Very, like, Portal situation with the purple sparrows and stuff like that. But I did think it was really cool, but the special effects were, like, they're dated.
Yeah. What do you think, Derek?
So I want to talk about something that happened before this, and leads into this. So, like, when he's talking to him in that, like, catatonic state, he stabs his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, because then when you go to the other, to Stark's side, like, it's his other hand. So it's a great representation of how these two things are complete mirror opposites of one another. But then, that's kind of where he learns, like, okay, he can't kill me, because if he does, he's going to kill himself.
Right.
We're linked. And so he tries to use that, the disadvantage he has, like, in this ending scene, because his family's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
His little twins.
But that doesn't mean I can't hurt the ones you love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved that shot. That shot specifically of George sitting at the table with the pencil in his hand. Mm-hmm. I loved that. He, like, pulls it out, holds it up. Do you see the light?
See the light through? Yep.
And then he, like, kicks his big old legs around and kicks the lamp like, that's hanging from the ceiling. I was like, this guy is so cool, but you gotta hate him because he's just terrible.
Yeah, he looks so creepy when he has the, like, just the way, like, his head was wrapped with the baseball cap on. Like, it just adds,
the
like,
a... Cap.
Yeah, when he has a baseball cap on, it just adds, like, because you can only basically see this part of his face, you know what I mean?
Very Invisible Man, very...
Yeah, it's cool. What'd you think of the actual...
Cool. His contacts changed.
The contacts is really what makes it cool. Yeah, that's what makes him scary.
It gives him, like, eyes. Red eyes.
Yeah, he has, like, kind of, like, devil eyes.
Blue eyes, but it just, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool.
Derek, what'd you think of the ending itself? The way he's defeated with the bird call.
I thought it was really It was interesting. It was pretty good. Obviously, the very end where they're like carrying him away into the sky, and then there's the thing, and you're just like, yep, definitely made in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
But the concept was really cool, and being in that room where there's no windows and those birds like pecking holes through the walls, and you see this super tough guy who's killed a bunch of people, and he's terrified
Yeah.
of what's about to happen because he knows what's about to happen. And then just kind of the way that like they literally pick his body apart to carry him away. They did a really good job of displaying that, even though it was in the 90s. So
Yeah.
kudos to them.
What do you guys think of the? I agree. I also like the ending. What do you guys think of the kills? Let's kind of run through them because we already talked about two of them. We talked about the photographer's death, and we talked about the second one. There's the doctor. The doctor is killed as well.
Yeah, the doctor gets killed in the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got to awkwardly tell him to call an ambulance, and he was the only one in there, so obviously they're going to be like, "Oh, killed him."
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's the first time you see the publicist in the office with the guy cleaning the window. You assume something's going to happen. They set it up that way, only to like later pay that off, and they paid it off pretty well.
Yeah,
thought it was nice.
Thought it was nice. I thought it was a nice touch. What do you guys think of the music?
I can't remember the music specifically. I feel like they did play a few songs though that were good.
Yeah, yeah. Especially
I watched this a couple nights ago now, so it's a little fun.
Especially when Stark shows up, they play some like old rock and roll.
Oh, that's right. They play like an Elvis song.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
What song is that? What is that song they play?
I think it was like "Lonesome." Are you lonesome tonight?
I think so. Yeah, I'm trying to look it up. Music. Go see it. Yeah, I think you're right, Lydia. But it's definitely some old rock and roll. Kind of give us because he's kind of 50s cool.
Yeah, and he's just like using these specific Black Beauty pencils, which I was just like, is that a thing? Like, I want to know if that's a thing now. I don't know.
Let's look it up.
Can we get some Black Beauty pencils up in here for our writing?
Yeah, there is Black Beauty pencils. Well, that's...
I think there has to be.
Well, with a barrel Black Beauty pencil.
If Stephen King wrote it, he probably just saw it and was like, yeah, that's it.
Dude, those barrel Black Beauty pencils are fucking $40.
People like pencils.
How many?
I think one.
I'm seeing them on...
I'm on Amazon.
I'm seeing you could get them on eBay for less.
Yeah, I see it here on eBay.
For anybody who wants to get some.
What were we talking about before we went into the barrel company?
Death? We were talking about death.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a fun little, I talked about the music, and we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, that's what it was. He's got his own, full, style of everything. Not just, his style, but, he uses a pencil, and he always listens to the same song, and, I don't know.
When you're right. So, writers do different things. I know that when I write, it depends on what mood I'm in, what I do. I write scripts usually, so I use a script formatting, obviously a app, and then I either, if I'm writing, something that's I've got pretty well outlined, sometimes I'll just write to nothing, I won't have anything in the rooms, so I'll kind of type what's going on, then I'll kind of think about play the scene in my head. But there's also times where if I want to get in a certain mood, I'll put on a John Carpenter soundtrack and listen to it, so there's not words that are distracting me. If I put on a Metallica record or something, I'd be singing. I feel like.
Influenced by like the
Yeah,
story of the song.
but if I have, like, there's times I put in like a Carpenter record and I just listen to like the Fog soundtrack, get me into like the mood of like a spookiness if it's that, or with the project I'm currently writing, I listen to the Big Trouble in Little China soundtrack because that's the tone of the movie I'm writing. So that fits it pretty perfectly. But a lot of times I just sit in silence. But writers are very particular. George Lucas, all the Star Wars movies, he wrote longhand. He didn't type them. I mean, they would be typed up afterwards, but he would write on some yellow legal pad with a bunch of number 2 pencils, and he would write the script that way. That's how he'd write the scripts.
That's crazy.
That is
Yep,
crazy.
longhand. Yep,
I mean, it
and
was
then
the 70s.
well, yeah,
Typewriter,
but
right?
even in the 90s, when he's writing the Phantom Menace, that's how he wrote the original draft of the Phantom Menace, and then I think the next subsequent drafts, and then they were handed off to the assistant to transpose into the script version of it. That's pretty interesting, So yeah, some people do crazy things, and King being the writer, obviously, so he imbues these characters with these personality quirks is a pretty fun thing. Also, the thing that can't be overlooked about The Dark Half is that, it's kind of influenced by his writings as Richard Bachman.
Mm-hmm.
And him being outed as being Bachman before he was ready. So that's when he wrote The Dark Half.
I don't know much about that. That's really interesting, because I was kind of feeling that. I mean, like, imagine being a writer who's writing this specific story. Like, that makes perfect sense.
Yep, the old Bachman. The Bachman stories, he wrote under Bachman, I do believe, I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain he wrote under Bachman just to write a kind of different style, but also, he could put a couple of stories out a year. So, Stephen King will have this story, then Richard Bachman would have this story. So then, like Thinner, Stephen King's Thinner is actually written by Richard Bachman.
Wild.
So, yeah. Pretty interesting, right?
Did not know that.
It says Stephen King and then it says written.
Yeah, so this is after. So this is obviously another pressing of it. Because originally, when this came out, it didn't say Stephen King. It just said Richard Bachman, Thinner. And then once it came out that Richard Bachman is Stephen King, now it's from the mind of Stephen King, written as Richard Bachman, Thinner.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love
pretty
that.
Interesting.
I'm gonna start like painting like that. I'm just gonna develop a persona and paint as someone else.
You could.
It's really hard to paint as yourself sometimes and put your soul on the canvas like that.
Yeah, so the Bachman...
Just make it somebody else's.
The Bachman stories are Thinner, Rage, The Long Walk, Road Work, and The Running Man. Stephen King's Running Man was also written as Richard Bachman. That's another famous one that was... And then, of course, The Long Walk that's playing in theaters this weekend, as a matter of fact. So that I love that kind of backstory. And I like the concept of a writer. In this case, what's interesting is that, because there's tons of writers that had written under pseudonyms, the reason I said Richard Stark earlier is because I was thinking of Donald Westlake, who is a writer that was influenced by this. So Richard Westlake wrote crime novels. So you ever seen you've seen Payback with Mel Gibson, right?
No.
Derrick, you've seen Payback.
Is that the one where his son? No, that's Ransom.
It's the one where he's a criminal. He was shot and left for dead, and he comes back to try to get his money. No, it's a great one.
I don't know. I'm sure I have.
Payback's great.
What?
But Payback, and then Parker with Jason Statham is another one, and a movie. So he wrote these series of novels, the Parker novels, Donald Westlake, but he wrote them under the name of Richard Stark, which is why King named George Stark.
Ah.
Probably also why he named Bachman Richard, I would imagine as well. So, yeah, what do you guys think of the movie overall? What are we thinking with this one?
This was an interesting movie. I don't know for sure, but like I mentioned it earlier, watching this movie kept leading me to a bunch of other movies. And so you can't help but think like this movie most likely influenced a lot of those, which is, I guess, a testament to, Stephen King as a writer, or at least like the concept. I haven't read the books. I don't know how closely it follows it.
Well, we also have to talk about. Sorry to interrupt you. We have to talk about Romero's direction, just in general.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the way the film is shot and directed?
Yeah, I thought it was really well shot. I thought they did a great job with the cast. I don't have too many gripes about this movie. Like it was very entertaining. It was a long movie, about 2 hours. But it was an entertaining watch, and so they did a great job. My overall rating for this movie is 7. I would watch this movie again. It's going to be a really good one to introduce Clark when he's a little older.
Yeah. What do you think, Lydia?
Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really cool. I really like the world that it's in,
Yeah.
I really do. And that might have something to do with Romero and obviously my love for Stephen King. So just discovering this for the first time is just pretty cool. You can't not like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the things are a little dated, but I think it was a really interesting time capsule. And one thing I wanted to say that I always like to point out, the set design of everything. I was obsessed with every single location that they went to.
Yeah, the house is a great setting.
The
for
house
the finale,
is amazing.
The house looks amazing. Yeah.
All the offices that they go to of the teacher, the old like witch doctor teacher that he goes to. There's so many amazing things. And even the who was it? His like publicist or something. His apartment was like fantastic. It was so cool. But yeah.
Oh yeah, the apartment. Yeah.
The apartment. Yeah, the city apartment was so cool. I was like, that is such a huge apartment.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, it was just really fun. I thought the deaths were really good and really scary, even though I was still trying to figure out like how is this happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I liked all the acting. I liked all the actors. It was pretty good. This is a pretty good one. I can't believe I've never seen it. I love discovering new movies like this. So, yeah, I think I'll give it a 7 as well.
Yeah, that's about where I am too. Like I said, I've seen it several times. After I watched it the first time, I was like, "That's pretty solid. I'll watch that again," and I have multiple times. Yeah, I don't really have any gripes either. The length is maybe the only one. It's a little long, but it's not too long for the story that it's telling, though. I think it's the right length for the story that it's telling.
Yeah.
I don't think it drags particularly. Yeah, I think the performances are strong. I think the directing's super strong. The writing's really strong. Romero knows how to adapt King pretty well. I think the only person that adapts King better than Romero is Frank Darabont. And maybe Mike Flanagan. But I think it's pretty good. I'm going to give it a 7 as well.
Yeah.
Now, guys, it's time to Atkinize this movie. Who would the great Tom Atkins play in this?
Oh man.
Thrill me.
100%, he's got to play Star.
Well, then he'd have to play Thad,
then he'd
too.
have to play, Thad, too.
I could see that. Honestly, I could see that. I was trying to debate him or
Pangborn?
Pangborn, because
that's who he was last week. That's who he was last week.
Yeah, I could keep him.
Just create a Pangborn universe. Yeah, with him.
I love it. But yeah, I could also see him playing a pretty strong Thad.
Yeah, just because he would be a good.
Well, he has that vibe. He can be, he can be the smart, sophisticated writer of this, living in the city or whatever, and he can also be this like total tough guy.
Yeah, we know that. We know that much.
Yeah, If this podcast has taught us anything, and we always cast him as the sheriff, so he could
Yep.
be either of those characters, and I would be happy.
I agree. Okay, Derrick, your turn to pick for week 3 of Stephen King Timber. What are we watching next week? Okay.
Do you want me to tell you what they are?
Well, I mean, you can tell us if you want us just to pick one, or if you want us to.
Yeah.
You want to surprise us with
I'll
it.
bounce it off with you, and then we can cut this part. So I'm
Okay.
leaning between 1408, which I did check. I don't think we've done.
No.
And Gerald's Game. Or Gerald.
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 Oh
Gerald.
man, those are both pretty
Gerald.
decent movies.
1408, you said?
Yeah.
Have we not done 1408?
I
No, we
thought we
haven't.
did, but I
No.
checked and I didn't see it on our.
We definitely haven't.
All right, Derrick, so it's your turn to pick. What are we watching next week?
Man, I've been thinking about this. I think we're going to go with 1408.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
We're going to go with Gerald's Game.
That doesn't make any sense to the audience, Derrick, because we literally cut all of that out.
Let's do it again.
Oh my god. All right. So, Derrick, what are we going to watch next week?
We're going to go with Gerald's Game.
It's called Gerald's Game.
God damn it. I was seriously trying to get it right that time.
Let's try it again.
Right.
All right, Derrick, it's your turn to pick. What are we watching next week?
We're going to watch Gerald's Game.
Gerald's Game. All right. That Mike Flanagan's Gerald's Game, might I add. Who in Gerald's Game is streaming on Netflix, correct, Derrick?
Yep.
All right. So we will watch Mike Flanagan's adaptation of Stephen King's Gerald's Game next week, 2017's Gerald's Game. All right, guys, and that will be our show this week. Be sure to comment down below your favorite King novel, which one you want us to do next, Stephen King Timber. What do you think about The Dark Half? Is it as good as we think it is? Do you think it's better? You think the book's better? You think it's scary? Let us know in the comments below. Also, let us know what movies you want us to watch for Halloween, because it's coming up, and we need some ideas. We know one slot is going to be saved for Halloween H2O, because every year we do a new Halloween, and we're on H2O. And if you're trying to do the math and realize that we're on season 5, that's because there's a couple times we watched Halloween movies when it wasn't Halloween.
Yeah.
Because we just fucking wanted to watch them.
Yeah.
Sorry. But there's 13 of those motherfuckers. So we have a lot. So we're good. All right. So comment down below on all of that stuff. You can follow us online at HiLaProductions.com. You can follow us on Facebook at HiLa Productions. Be sure to stay tuned after the episode. You'll see the link to the opening scene of Secret Admirer, our feature film that we are working on. Be sure to check that out and share that with everyone you know as well. Stay tuned, because we'll have some big news coming up on that very shortly. So, for next week, go to Gerald's Game on Netflix and check it out. And for Derrick, Lemaster, and Lydia Judy, I'm Jimmy Hiles. And remember, if you're going to scream bloody movies.